Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peter Likes Books. And welcome to Peter's Book Club. And I am so excited today. I have been meaning to make this video for like the last 3 days, and every time I go to sit down and make the video, somebody calls me or something happens, and I'm like, okay, I'll make it here in just a minute. And then before I know it, it's like my husband's coming home and it's late and we're eating dinner, and I'm like, okay, I'll just make it tomorrow. But I'm making it today because, I have to tell you, I have so many videos I've been wanting to make over this channel. I have a graphic book haul that I want to show you all the graphic books that I have purchased recently. Plus, I want to show you my entire graphic book collection. I don't know if I'm going to do that in the same video or if I'll save that. Maybe I'll save that one. But then I also wanted to do an Audible haul because I was gifted 11 or 12 books by a follower out there. She was like, I'm getting rid of Audible, so I just want to give you my credits. And at first I was like, no, her name is Jen, so thank you so much, Jen. And at first I was like, I totally cannot accept this. And she was like, please. She was like, I'm going to get rid of Audible and I'm going to lose my credits. And I was like, no, I don't feel right about that. I mean, this is like over $100 gift, you know? I mean, way more than that. And I was like, I just don't feel right about it. And so anyway, I finally was like, but my husband was like, this is such a nice thing, you know, like just allow her to do this for you. And so I did. And that was so cool. I got to pick out 11 books that I wanted to read. And I picked out books that I wouldn't normally read, like The Stand and some other things like that have been on my like TBR list forever that I haven't read. So Jen, thank you so much. That was like literally the kindest gift ever. And if you know me, you know how much I love Audible. So that was cool. And but before that, Audible was having a $5 sale. So I purchased like 5, maybe 10 books over there on that. And then, of course, the books that I get every month. I've got cozy mysteries. I've got scary thrillers that I'm reading right now. I've got a few memoirs and biographies in there. You guys, I have so many different kinds of books. So I've been wanting to do an Audible haul to show you guys those books. But today is about snaps, Peter's Book Club. So every time we say Peter's Book Club, we have to snap. That's the new thing, okay? I just made that up right now. But anyway, today we're going to talk about Peter's Book Club. Now, people have asked me, how do you join Peter's Book Club? The first rule of book club is you read the book, okay? The first rule of Fight Club, no. Do you remember a couple years ago I was going to read all the Chuck Palahniuk books and I ended up making it through Fight Club and I was done? That was it. But anyway, the first rule of Peter's Book Club is that you read the book that I post every month, and all you have to do is follow my Instagram, okay, or watch the video over here, and I will, on the first or the second or the fourth, I guess, tell you what the book is for that month, and then I will also do a quick review of the previous book. So, if you didn't know, January's book was Saint X by Alexis Shakin. That was the first book. I've already done the review of that. February's book was The Project by Courtney Summers. I'm going to be reviewing this in just a second. I'll announce the book for March and then talk about this, so if you guys don't want to wait for the review, you don't have to. But this was the February book, which was, oh my God, such a fun... I feel so blessed that, so her agent or publisher like reached out to me and asked me if I would like consider maybe this being on like, I was like, consider it. Sadie is like one of my favorite books. So this was such a fun read, and I got to interact with Courtney Summers, the author, a lot, and she's just fantastic. She's just absolutely fantastic. And you know, I mean, I am such a believer. I was going to actually write a book at one point, and I was going to title this Readers Are Rock Stars. Writers are rock stars, but to me, writers are rock stars. Like whenever like Sean David Hutchinson follows me, I am like such a huge fan of Sean David Hutchinson. And Courtney Summers is tweeting me, and Jackson Miller, who wrote Hell in the Heartland, and you know, it's like Angie Thomas follows me. It's like, you know, like it's so cool because I just feel like authors are such rock stars to me, and I love them so much. So anyway, we're going to talk about the project in just a second. But March, the book for March, now this is not a true crime book club. If you're wondering, yes, I'm still running True Crime Book Club with my good Judy Mel. Hey Mel. Our live stream is this Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we are discussing Hell in the Heartland. I may have to go get the dogs. We are discussing Hell in the Heartland by... oh my God, Jackson Miller. I was like, how could I forget that? I've talked about her, talked to her, asked her questions. She actually was the one that recommended and suggested our book for March that we're reading. I think it's called People Who Eat Darkness. So come join the live stream on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Really excited about that. Hey Mel, how are you? Follow Mel at Ginger Gonzo Reads, linked below. She also has a crochet Instagram, which is linked there below as well. So, the March book for Peter's Book Club. Are you ready? Now, I was actually picking between 3 books, and this is the one that won, and partly because it was on the New York Times bestseller list, so I thought, well, if it's on the New York Times bestseller list, it's got to be pretty good, and I wanted to read it anyway. And that is The Sanatorium, a novel by Sarah Pearse. And it says up here, an absolutely splendid gothic thriller by A.J. Finn, who is the author of one of my favorite books ever, The Woman in the Window. Unfortunately, A.J. Finn has had kind of a weird turn. Google A.J. Finn, and you will find out about all of that. I don't know if he'll be releasing any more books to come, but he said up here, he also said on the back of it, the sanatorium is gracious in its nods to the classic locked room mystery, yet bold enough to burst out of that room through the window. Pearse writes prose as fresh and crisp as Swiss Alp powder, and her characters fascinate even as their numbers dwindle. And it goes on here, and there's a lot of people in the back here that, Sally Hepworth, the best-selling author of The Mother-in-Law. Dark, suspenseful, and downright chilling, The Sanatorium is a triumph. Pearse has a big future ahead of her. And so there's a lot of people that are like writing little quotes about this. It's also in Reese Witherspoon's. This video does not want to get made today, I'm telling you. It just doesn't. The dogs are barking and my phone's ringing. But it's also part of Reese Witherspoon's book club, so if you want to know that. All right, let's get in here, and I am going... Oh, where are my reading glasses? Okay. Everyone's in danger. Anyone could be next. Half hidden by forest and overshadowed by threatening peaks, Le Summit has always been a sinister place. Long plagued by troubling rumors, the former abandoned sanatorium has since been renovated into a 5-star minimalist hotel. An imposing, isolated getaway spot in the Swiss Alps is the last place Elin Warner wants to be. But Elin's taken time off from her job as a detective, so when her estranged brother Isaac and his fiancée Lori invite her to celebrate their engagement at the hotel, Elin really has no reason not to accept. Arriving in the midst of a threatening storm, Elin immediately feels on edge. There's something about the hotel that makes her nervous. And when they wake the following morning to discover Lori is missing, Elin must trust her instincts if they hope to find her. With the storm closing off all access to the hotel, the longer Lori stays missing, the more the remaining guests start to panic. Elin is under pressure to find Lori, but no one has yet realized that another woman has gone missing, and she's the only one who could have warned them just how much danger they are all in. Sounds fantastic. There's Sarah Pearse right there. Let's read about her. Sarah Pearse grew up in Devon, UK, and studied English literature and creative writing at the University of Warwick before completing a postgraduate diploma in broadcast journalism. She lived in Switzerland for several years before returning to the UK. The Sanatorium is her first novel. I'm really, really excited about this. I'm currently reading Betwixt by Dorinda Jones. It is her brand new cozy mystery, book 1, that just came out of a new series about a woman that is gifted some amazing mansion. Imagine that, a cozy mystery. But I love Dorinda Jones so much. She wrote A Bad Day for Sunshine in her second book in the Sunshine series, which is called A Good Day for Chardonnay. It comes out in July. So I'm currently reading that, and once I finish it, this will be my next book. So anyway, The Sanatorium by Sarah Pearse is the March book for Peter's Book Club. Here, let me get a little thumbnail. That was so nice, wasn't it? So anyway, I'm super, super excited about that. Here, I should do a different thumbnail. We all love books. Okay, let's talk now about The Project by Courtney Summers. If you do not know what this book is about, let me read it to you quickly. The Unity Project. After a tragic accident kills most of her family and leaves her little sister Lo on the brink of death, B. Denham is desperate for a miracle. It arrives in the form of Lev Warren, the charismatic spiritual leader of the Unity Project. He promises he can save Lo. All B has to do is believe. Stole my sister, it says. Lo awakes in the ICU to find her parents are dead and her sister has abandoned her for the Unity Project. The more Lo learns, the more she's convinced the beloved organization is hiding sinister secrets. If only she could make B believe. Years later, when a man shows up at the magazine Lo works for, it says murdered my son. Years later, when a man shows up at the magazine Lo works for, claiming the Unity Project killed his son, Lo sees the perfect opportunity to expose the group and reunite with B once and for all. But her investigation will put her in the direct path of Lev Warren, and he will make her question everything she thought was true and all that she believes. Are you ready to belong? So, first of all, I'm not going to spoil this. It is about a cult. It has been very, very well researched. It is dark, it is sinister, it is chilling, and it is a mystery. But it's not a mystery in, I would say, the technical way that we would describe a mystery of like a whodunit. It's nothing like that. It's really about going in and it's interesting because both of these books are very, very similar. They were both books about St. X and The Project were both books about family history and finding out who her sister was that she doesn't really know today and things like that. And it was interesting. Now, I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. My best friend, she really struggled with this book, but she loved this book. She absolutely loved it. So I'm now 5 for 5 on both books. So we'll see if the Sanatorium holds up. So it's about this girl's quest to find her sister, who is part of this cult called the Unity Project, which is under the guise of being very kind and giving and philanthropic and things like that. Although she has history of knowing that that's probably not the case. And so it's her going in to try to find out more about this so-called cult or the Unity Project, and her getting closer and closer and closer to the members of the cult. It reminds me a lot of the book The Girls by, what's her name? Oh, shoot. Emily. Oh, God, I can't remember. Anyway, it reminds me of the book The Girls. Except that this book doesn't flash back and do it like The Girls does a lot of flash. Oh, Emma Klein. Emma Klein is her name. It does a lot of flashbacks. This book doesn't do that. But I will tell you that this book did not end up where I thought it would. At all. At all. And one of the things that is interesting that happens, and this is where, if you read the book Sadie, like, you don't really understand, or, well, I don't know. Okay, I don't mean it to sound that way. I didn't really understand what a fantastic author Courtney Summers was while I was reading Sadie. I just thought it was an interesting story. Once I got done with it in retrospect, I was like, wow. Like, the written devices that she uses to manipulate the reader into having this experience as you're reading the book is so genius. Like, I don't know that she is really, I know she's getting a lot of acclaim for the project, but I don't even know that Courtney Summers has received literally and literary acclaim that she deserves. When I was reading this book, I was at the end of the book, probably 50 pages from the end, you know, I was listening to it on Audible, and I was like, I started to see the Unity Project and the cult in a completely different way. I was like, well, this guy doesn't really seem that bad to me, and maybe there's reasons why these things happen. And it started screwing with my head, like to the point where I was like, well, like, I don't think he's like this horrible, and they all have their reasons for being there. Maybe they really are kind to people. And what it was, okay, was Courtney's amazing ability to bring the reader along with the main character. Because as she's questioning these things about the cult, so are you as the reader. It's not where you're reading it and what's it called, untrustworthy character, I think, where you don't believe what they're saying. It's not like you're sitting there watching it from the outside happen. You literally feel like you're being carried along with her. And I started to really believe, like, well, maybe this cult isn't that bad. Maybe there's nothing wrong with it. And maybe there's not. I'm not going to ruin it for you. You have to find out on your own. But I didn't even realize it was happening to me until, like, I was in the middle of it. And I was like, oh, my God. The same thing that's happening to her is happening to me, happened to her sister, happened to this person, happened to that person. And it's so fantastic how she does it. This book was definitely 5 out of 5 stars for me. I absolutely loved it. It says right here, you've been chosen. If you didn't read this for February, please go back and pick it. It just came out. It came out in February. It is such a fantastic book. I cannot wait to see what Courtney Summers has next. So anyway, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. I love the cover too, and on the back it has this little house. It's in the book. I won't tell you how. But anyway, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I'm very excited to read the Sanatorium this month. Let me know what you think about, put these here. All 3 of these. And I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.